Hey folks, Twisted Christian here. Today, I'm going to bring you a dream about XRP, but I think this also has to do with what's going to come down the line in the future as far as Bitcoin buy limit orders, and also warnings about hard wallets and platforms. First, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information and giving you my thoughts and my opinion on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube, the Patreon, PayPal, and so on. And keep in mind, folks, you do have access to the Discord, which you access through your benefits on the Patreon. I'm going to reshare an XRP dream from Wyatt. He just started posting his prophetic dreams about 4 weeks ago. And like with everybody else, folks, subscribe so that you can also keep up. A lot of these people that I share with you, you need to make sure you follow them so that you can keep up to as well, because I cannot share every single video, every single prophetic word that comes out. So this prophetic dream deals with XRP, and it deals with platforms, I believe. And I'm going to share a interpretation from the Discord that I believe that is spot on concerning this XRP dream. It also deals with hard ledgers as well. And so you guys need to pay attention, because this could affect you when we do start getting Bitcoin from the Bitcoin phishing. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And this is Wyatt.
Morning, everybody. I wanted to share a dream that I had back on February 4th of this year. And it was in regards to XRP. And so in my dream, I was like in space, and I was kind of being like heckled and chased by this like floating robotic entity. Looked a lot like Vision from the Avengers, if you're familiar with that. And it was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was like a threat to me, but it was kind of annoying. It was like just kept following me and like around this like halo ring that I was standing on, if that makes sense. But as I'm like standing on this like metal halo ring, like I look down at my feet, and the entire ring is like a giant internet server, with all the components and everything. It was just like a giant internet server. And then it like tried to push me off of it, but I caught myself, and I was now like on the underneath of it, and I was holding on to it like monkey bars. And so I was moving across it, and its goal was, it was trying to take my hardware wallet, but in my dream, my hardware wallet kind of looked like a chip, like a SIM card. And it seemed like there was a sense of urgency. I don't know, something cyber. That's just kind of the vibe I got. And then it talked to me, and it said, it accused me of trying to transfer my, quote, millions of dollars into XRP. And so like the wording on that, it almost seemed as though it was like another one of our investments had taken off before XRP. And so I guess I don't know, I guess I had millions of dollars, but I knew like I wanted to put a large chunk of it into XRP because it was still available and it hadn't happened yet. And so like this thing didn't want me to get to the other side of the halo ring. And eventually I get to the other side, and like I tried to insert my ledger into, I don't know, I guess I was trying to do a transaction, and then I woke up. So that's all I really have. Again, I'm not gonna give an interpretation if I don't feel like I have it. You know, I have, you know, what my flesh may think this dream means, but I'm going to share it anyways, because it might bless somebody else, and do with it what you want. I'm just sharing it. Again, I had this back on February 4th, kind of sat on it for a little bit. I'd been asking God if I had an interpretation or if he could give me one, and just kind of felt like I needed to share it today. So I hope this benefits you. Be blessed. Continue to sow seed, invest, and ask God for wisdom and guidance in anything that you do. And we're in for some exciting times here soon.
Okay, so that was a pretty interesting dream concerning XRP and hard ledgers. Now let's point out a few things. That he was on this metal halo-like platform. And he said it was like an internet server, right? And he was out in space. And there was a floating robotic entity that looked like Vision from the Avengers. And it seemed to kind of irritate him and, try to bother him a little bit. And then it actually tried to push him off, right? And he was holding on to the platform. And that it was trying to take his hard wallet too as well. And then this robotic entity also accused him trying to transfer millions of dollars into XRP. And that one of his other investments must have taken off, and that he was going to take his millions and put it into XRP. One thing that I want to share before I get into the interpretation that from one of the Patreon members who posted on Discord, I want to share this prophetic word from Christopher Harris concerning XRP and our instructions. Now remember, he said that he was putting millions of dollars into XRP. This is from Christopher Harris, the Jesus is Lord YouTube channel, but this is his Telegram that he posted this particular prophetic word about the Bitcoin buy limit order, which I did talk about. It was the back-to-back Bitcoin flash crash. And he says here on 3/18, in a dream this morning, I heard these words. It went from 10K from zero. I believe this is about BTC recovering quickly to 10K from the flash crash. Later in the dream, I saw a written statement saying, transfer BTC at 10K to XRP and wait to see what you get. I believe this is about converting BTC to XRP, as while BTC has a good amount to rise from 10K to fulfill a previous sequence. I saw 66K. This is an approximate 6 times gain, whereas holding XRP from 10K BTC might be more than a 6 times gain. XRP might still be cheap at 10K BTC also, and may not have recovered quickly as BTC yet. Now, I believe this applies to ETN. Also, I saw in a dream I posted earlier after the flash crash, I saw it increase from 0.004 to 0.19 and could go higher, as I have seen numerous figures in the 50 cent range. And yesterday in a dream, I saw a brief clear vision of a Shiba Inu dog. So I think it's good after the flash crash to pick a point to diversify BTC into altcoins. And based on these dreams, I've highlighted ETN, SHIB, and XRP. All right, so when you look at Drew's dream about he was trying to convert millions of dollars into XRP. And then we had this prophetic word that was on the 18th dealing with this dream that God told him to transfer BTC at 10K to XRP. So those are correlated. When we get into the interpretation, then you'll see why we need to heed this warning about when we actually try to do this and if you use hard wallets. Okay, so I posted this dream on the XRP channel asking for an interpretation, right? Because I was completely lost on this. But I think this interpretation is actually spot on. And this interpretation was by Beak Power. The floating robotic entity who is chasing him is the chain analysis AI tools that the centralized exchanges employ to detect suspicious transactions and freeze them to be verified. They are annoying, time-consuming, and very powerful, like Vision from the Avengers. And they get worse as the amounts of money being dealt with increase. The halo ring that Drew is standing on is the centralized exchange, servers used by tech companies that you are trying to use to buy XRP. If you were to fish a bunch of Bitcoin, now this part is important, right? If you were to fish a bunch of Bitcoin at a low price from Kucoin, which is a non-KYC exchange, you would likely then withdraw this money to your hard wallet to keep it safe. But when the time comes that when you try to cash this Bitcoin out for USD or exchange it for XRP, you may try to send it from your hard wallet to an exchange like UPHOLD. UPHOLD's chain analysis AI could flag your transfer when the coins arrive and will likely pester you about the origins of the Bitcoin. Or maybe prevent you from moving these back to your hard wallet afterwards. The reason why is because they don't understand who the funds came from, and it's a lot of money. If it got bad enough, they may flag the wallet ID of your ledger, which is like the robotic trying to go after your hard wallet. They can't take your coins from your hard wallet, but they can prevent you from taking them off their exchange once you send them there. Examples of this happening. And this is a Reddit post from 7 months ago. Advice on not getting your Coinbase account frozen. So this is an issue a lot of people are running into using Coinbase. So much so that Coinbase subreddit is flooded with people whose accounts are frozen. I found this information below and thought it fit well in the sub and could help people avoid serious headaches. Getting your Coinbase account frozen is a complete nightmare. Support is slow and you can expect it to take months to get resolved and sometimes never if you do not escalate it to sending an attorney letter. However, there are certain items that innocent people do all the time that can trigger this scenario. Here are the most common ones. Never sell at Coinbase any assets you did not originally buy at Coinbase. Whenever possible, try to sell the assets at the same exchange you bought them from. If you bought it from DEX, I recommend you sell it to USDC. I recommend you sell it to USDC or USDT at the DEX. Even then, you are best selling it at another exchange other than Coinbase to avoid an account freeze. Never put your crypto through any sort of privacy protocol. So do not put your Ether or USDC through Tornado Cash. Do not put your BTC through Samurai Wallet, and do not move your ERC20 asset tokens back and forth from privacy networks such as Secret Network. There is nothing inherently wrong or illegal about doing these things, but it will flag as suspicious with the Coinbase Watchdog AI and require manual review. This process usually takes months, or you may remain in limbo forever. If you fall into one of these category of assets in either of the two above scenarios, I recommend selling at either Kraken, Gate.io, which United States and Canada customers will no longer be able to use after April the 10th. So if you're outside the United States and Canada, then you should be fine, or Binance.us. And Binance is one of those prophetic platforms that eventually is going to go away and it's going to be under heavy scrutiny from the SEC. But I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. So it may not happen in the near future. In general, though, try to sell at the exchange you bought the assets to minimize issues. Wow. I believe that Christopher Harris and Drew's dreams are connected to one another, but I believe Drew's dream is more of a warning, right? And this interpretation gives us more insight on what things to avoid. So the robotic entity is actually the AI, right? And the halo ring that he's standing on, it's like it's the platform maybe tried to freeze or prevent him from trying to put his millions into XRP, right? Because that's what Christopher Harris's prophetic instructions were. Once you fish for Bitcoin and you see it 10,000, you're going to exchange those funds for XRP. That was one of them, plus Shiba Inu and maybe a few others, right? The AI was trying to take his hard wallet. So basically trying to flag your hard wallet. So as an example, let's say on Kucoin, you do get a whole bunch of Bitcoin, right? And then you want to try to cash some of it out. So what I have shared before, well, you could just transfer it over to Coinbase. But this is a warning that, especially dealing with Coinbase, because you're probably going to get flagged and it's going to take a long time to get that issue resolved. So in the Reddit post, he recommended Kraken. Now, Kraken is a prophetic platform that Prophet Robin was talking about, and he said that that exchange was going to grow and it's going to be one of the top exchanges. For the platforms that we don't have our bank account attached to, now this is here in the United States and Canada, right? So if you're outside of the United States, this might be different if you're on Kucoin. So if you're able to use Kucoin with no problems in another country, then this really doesn't apply to you, except for the fact that if you try to take your coins off the exchange and put them on a hard wallet, and then later on and try to put them to another exchange. He believes that he had an investment that took off before XRP. That is one of the prophetic instructions with the Bitcoin phishing. On my Bitcoin phishing buy limit order document, I believe that we've identified 5 different flash crashes to 0. And one of those was Coinbase. Dr. Maria Conwell gave us a reminder to set our BTC orders at 10 cents each on Coinbase. The flash crash happens, but none of your orders kick in on any other platforms, just on Coinbase, right? Because the Coinbase is supposed to have the flash crash, right? Boom, you catch a whole bunch of Bitcoin. So if you decide to transfer those to a hard wallet and then try to upload them to another platform, you could get flagged. And vice versa. So if you catch Bitcoin on Kucoin, put it on your hard wallet, eventually you want to cash out, then you go and put it on Coinbase, and then your account could be frozen, and then not only that, they could flag your hard wallet. That means you won't be able to upload it probably to most exchanges, and then you'll be scrambling to find an exchange that will allow you to upload that Bitcoin without it getting flagged. So what are the other prophetic words dealing with Coinbase, right? We've got multiple prophetic words about Coinbase being frozen and Coinbase being hacked. The prophetic word comes to pass, and there's the flash crash on Coinbase, and you guys get a bunch of Bitcoin. Coinbase is going to be a target. All right, I'm going to get into that in another video, but it's going to be a target. And a lot of hackers are probably going to try to hack that because a lot of God's people who follow these instructions are going to end up with a lot of Bitcoin. So you're either going to try to cash out or send your Bitcoin to another platform like Kraken, right? I know probably for some of you, you're probably going to cash out and get some cash so you can, get some things that you need and pay some bills and so forth. But also our instructions are to invest into other cryptocurrencies. So you need to put together a plan that if you get Bitcoin on Coinbase, you need to figure out which platforms you're going to send that Bitcoin to. But you're also going to reset up your Bitcoin buy limit orders back on Coinbase. So you want to make sure you leave enough to do all that on USD, USDC, and on USDT and USDC. So the other thing that you might want to do too is convert your Bitcoin over to some of the other coins and maybe move some around, maybe not so much. That's why I would say, I have Shiba Inu on 4 or 5 different platforms. So this prophetic dream and this interpretation and a confirmation, putting this all together, it comes down to making sure you're planning out things right and making sure that your accounts are not getting flagged. And you guys know with this whole thing with KYC, know your customer, where every single wallet is going to have to be verified. And that's what they're working on in Europe right now, the European Union. So it can be even harder for the bad guys to move things around, but also too, it's going to be easier for them to find out who's moving Bitcoin around and all that. So you need to be careful about putting your Bitcoin on a hard wallet. So this is the plan, right? So let's say if I catch 300 Bitcoin on Coinbase, right? I'm going to cash some of it out. I'll probably send most of the Bitcoin to maybe Kraken, because we are looking at several different flash crashes, folks. So we got up to 5 potential flash crashes to 0. And the biggest one is from 111,000 to 0. And we got another one at 70,000 to 0. Right? And then we have back-to-back flash crashes. And then we have another flash crash from 35K to 0. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities and a lot of transferring things around and planning this out, and whether or not if you're going to put your coins on a hard wallet. Like I said, folks, we're going to be putting our profits into other cryptocurrencies when these flash crashes happen. And so obviously that when Bitcoin recovers, the other cryptocurrencies won't have recovered. So anyways, folks, so hopefully that you have heeded this warning. And so tell me your thoughts and your opinions. And if you guys have any other information or things you could add to this particular interpretation, I believe that this one is spot on. So I thank you very much, Big Power, because you probably saved a whole bunch of people who are paying attention a massive headache, because we know that the enemy is going to try to prevent these things from happening. And also, too, you got to remember, there's going to be, when this happens, folks, there's going to be absolute chaos and millions of dollars floating between people who didn't have millions of dollars before. So that's something else to think about. So anyways, folks, tell me what you think. God bless. TC out.